A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move that has reignited a long-standing debate, former President Donald Trump has publicly expressed his support for the federal government to take control of Washington, D.C. This statement, made aboard Air Force One, comes amidst ongoing discussions about the governance of the nation's capital and the push for D.C. to become the 51st state. Trump, speaking to reporters, emphasized his belief that the District of Columbia is not being managed effectively under its current local governance. He stated, "I think we should govern District of Columbia. I think that we should run it strong, run it with law and order, make it absolutely flawlessly beautiful." These comments align him with a faction of Republicans who are advocating for a return to direct federal control over the district, a move that many local residents and Democrats oppose. The debate over D.C.'s status has been contentious for decades. Since 1973, residents of Washington have had the ability to elect their mayor and a council to oversee local affairs, thanks to the Home Rule Act. However, this autonomy is limited. Congress retains the authority to review all local legislation and has the power to amend or repeal laws passed by the D.C. Council. Furthermore, the budget for the district is subject to congressional approval, and federal judges are appointed by the president. Despite being home to over 700,000 residents, more than the populations of Vermont and Wyoming, D.C. lacks full representation in Congress. Its residents can vote for the president and vice president, a right granted by the 23rd Amendment in 1961, but they do not have a voting representative in the House of Representatives. Instead, they are represented by a non-voting delegate who can participate in committee work but cannot vote on legislation. Trump's recent remarks come as he criticized the current state of affairs in Washington, particularly regarding crime and homelessness. He lamented the presence of tents on the city's lawns, stating, "You just can't let that happen. You can't have tents on all your beautiful, your once magnificent plaza and lawns." His comments reflect a growing concern among some Republicans about the perceived decline in the quality of life in the nation's capital. Trump also expressed his personal views about D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, stating that while he likes her, he believes the city is not being governed well. This perspective is shared by a segment of the Republican Party that is increasingly vocal about the need for federal intervention in local governance. The proposal to reinstate federal control over Washington, D.C. is not without controversy. Supporters argue that it could lead to improved safety and order, while opponents contend that it undermines the democratic rights of D.C. residents. Proponents of D.C. statehood argue that local residents should have the same rights as those in other states, including full representation in Congress. The push for D.C. statehood has gained traction in recent years, particularly among Democrats, who argue that the current lack of representation is a violation of democratic principles. The debate over D.C.'s governance is further complicated by the political dynamics at play. As the country heads into the 2024 election cycle, issues surrounding representation and governance in Washington, D.C. are likely to remain a focal point of political discourse. In conclusion, Trump's call for federal control over Washington, D.C. has reignited a contentious debate about the governance of the nation's capital. As the issue continues to unfold, it will be interesting to see how local residents, lawmakers, and political leaders respond to this provocative proposal. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.